The Masked Dragon. China's Global Strategy. Welcome back. Today we dive into one of the most important topics shaping our future: China's rise as a global power, and what it means for the rest of the world. 1. For decades, the United States has been seen as the strongest nation on earth. Every country wants to maintain good ties with Washington. But now, China is walking the same path, building massive infrastructure, copying technology from the West, and strengthening its geopolitical influence step by step. 2. The U.S. recognized China as a potential threat years ago. This became even clearer after conflicts like the Russia-Ukraine war, and the ongoing tensions in the Middle East involving Israel, Gaza, and Iran. China's strategy was simple but effective. First, focus on infrastructure and offer cheap labor. Then, replicate Western technology, build its own industries, and reduce dependency on the West. 3. Today, the West is heavily dependent on China's manufacturing industry. Why? Because of cheap production costs. Western companies earn bigger profits by outsourcing to China. But this dependency is dangerous. If relations collapse, the West could face a massive supply chain crisis. 4. China's long-term plan is even more ambitious. One major goal is to push Europe out of Africa. By working alongside Russia, China is expanding its influence across the continent. But history tells us, alliances built on convenience often collapse. In the next 1 to 2 decades, we may see China and Russia clash over land disputes, just like India and China have. 5. China wants to dominate the world through minerals, electronics, machinery, vehicles, and other manufactured goods. Western consumers can no longer afford products made entirely in their own countries. They rely on cheaper imports from China, and this dependency makes China a key player in today's global economy. 6. Europe and the USA have tried to counter China in the past 3 years, but they've largely failed. Meanwhile, China has used debt trap diplomacy in South Asia, Central Asia, and Africa, lending money, manipulating governments, and even leasing land for 100 years. 7. So, do we consider China a threat? The answer is complicated. On one hand, China provides affordable goods and infrastructure. On the other hand, it could block supply chains at any time. Imagine a world where electronics, vehicles, and even basic machinery suddenly stop flowing. That's the risk we face. 8. Right now, the situation between the USA and NATO is beginning to mirror what's happening with BRICS countries. China is the major manufacturer within BRICS, providing cheap materials. This creates trade deficits and strengthens the Chinese yuan, which could rise to rival the US dollar. 9. BRICS countries need to act now. If they don't, they'll end up in the same position as NATO and the USA. Overly dependent on China, the world must reject monopoly and find new partners. Otherwise, nations risk being exploited by the Chinese government. 10. If countries continue down this path, we could face what I call Chista, the China disaster, a future where global dependency on China leads to collapse and chaos. 11. Think about it. China already controls rare earth minerals, dominates electronics manufacturing, and is expanding into Africa and Asia with aggressive investments. If this continues unchecked, the balance of power will shift dramatically. The West will lose its competitive edge, and smaller nations will be trapped in China's orbit. 12. But there is still time. Nations can diversify their partnerships, invest in local industries, and strengthen regional alliances. The question is, will they act fast enough? Or will they wait until it's too late? So let's wait and see what happens. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, comment below, share your thoughts, and don't forget to subscribe for more content like this.